Well, good morning. Yagandhar Rana here. The topic of the day is convert your group health cover into a personal plan. Convert your group health cover into a personal plan. Say, a group health insurance plan provided by your employer is also known as the employer's health insurance or corporate health insurance. It is funded by your employer who pays the premium for these policies. So these plans are amongst the most popular health insurance options for employees. One of the most common questions about a group health insurance policy is if its benefits can be transferred to individual coverage after a job change. You can switch from group health insurance and convert it into an individual plan. So according to regulations from the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, employees covered under a group health insurance plan can transition to an individual health insurance policy. This transition is possible if the insured employees changes jobs or loses their jobs but wishes to continue receiving health insurance coverage. The individuals must fulfill specific formalities outlined by the insurer and may also benefit from the waiting period accumulated under the existing employer's medical insurance policy. However, the acceptance of the health insurance plan conversion depends on the insurer, who retains the right to determine the terms, conditions, and premium amounts of new health insurance plan. So obtaining a health cover for elderly parents is always a tough task for a working professional. Besides steep premiums, waiting period for pre-existing illnesses, which can extend to up to 3 years, is also a hurdle while buying a new policy. You need to be mindful of this challenge, particularly if you've been relying on your employer's group health insurance policy to cover your parents and also in between decide to switch jobs. So group cover ceases to exist once you quit your current organization. If your future employer also offers parental coverage, you need not be concerned. Our several organizations restrict family floater coverage to employees, spouse and children. According to a Prudent Insurance Broker report, 57% of employers offer parental coverage while the rest do not. So personal policies for senior citizens is a major challenge. In such cases, you will have to buy a personal policy for your parents before you exit your current organization. Even if you manage to obtain a fresh policy, no claims will be paid during the waiting period for pre-existing illnesses. So to make matters worse, there will be a 1-year waiting period for certain surgeries such as cataracts and hernia. However, there is another option that you can consider. Provided your employer and group health insurers are willing to facilitate the process, migrating to the insurer's individual health policy. General insurers and health insurers offering indemnity-based regular cashless and reimbursement health insurance policy, except personal accident and travel policies, shall provide an option of migration to an alternative health insurance product to the extent of the sum insured and the benefits available in the previous policy. So the insurer may underwrite the proposal in case of migration if the insured is not continuously covered for 36 months. Group covers, depending on the employer's approach, extends cover of parents apart from the employee, his spouse and children. More importantly, pre-existing diseases are covered from day one. This facility is a huge source of comfort for the employee's family. So portability is an important engagement tool today. Employers, as a part of communication strategy to employees, have started to build this product as one of the key elements. There's proper communication for all employees, and for interested employees there is a predefined process. Now, how a switch in time can help? So the key advantage is the carry forward of pre-existing diseases, waiting period credit. If the insurer has provided the group cover for 2 years, and that is when you decide to switch jobs, your parents will have to wait for only 1 more year for the declared pre-existing diseases to be covered. So the primary benefit is a reduction in the waiting period, and that would be applied under the individual retail plan. So the duration for which the employee was continuously covered under the group plan with the same insurer is subtracted from the waiting period of the individual plan. The caveat is that accepting or rejecting the proposal is up to the insurer. The detailed guidelines on the procedure to make the switch do not find a mention in the new regulations. The earlier rules were more detailed. Implementation is a grey area open for interpretation, but it depends on the insurance company, which can give employee an option to migrate. Likewise, they can ask you to go through medical checkups and quote a premium based on their risk assessment of your health. In many cases, do get rejected after an evaluation process. Then the question is how to switch. As soon as you decide to move on, inquire with your human resources team about the procedure to migrate from your employer's group policy to a retail product, that is individual or family floater. So the cause of separation from the group is not important to insurers. Group to retail conversion is available to employees who are leaving the organization, subject to the insurer's underwriting risk evaluation guidelines. Earlier regulations required policyholders to initiate this process at least 45 days prior to their date of exit, while the new regulations do not specify such time period. It is best to initiate the process well in advance, as the cover will cease to exist once you are off your company's rolls. So to start the process, you will need to submit your resignation letter and a note from your HR certifying your period of employment. This apart, the insurer could call for other documents and health records depending on its underwriting policy. So evaluate sublimits, co-pay clauses carefully. Inquire with the insurer about waiting period, credit before switching. This is because employers do not stick to the same insurer throughout and can change every year. Also, you may not get access to all the features of your group policy. An employee has to understand that the new plan features will align with those of the retail individual plans available and not with corporate plan. So the room rent, the sublimits and co-payments will be as per the retail plan of the new insurance company. An employee has to read these sublimits before deciding the portability. Finally, you cannot choose your insurer at the time of migration. You cannot choose your insurer at the time of migration. Portability can only occur within the same insurer as the group insurer, and employees cannot switch to a new insurer for retail plan with continuity benefit. Once the retail plan is bought, the policyholder can opt to the retail plans of other insurers in subsequent years. When an employee provides health insurance or when an employer provides health insurance to their employees as an additional perk and benefit, it is known as a group health insurance plan. Whereas individual health insurance is the plan bought by an individual for himself and his family. So group health insurance and individual health covers are distinct from each other. On the one hand, where individual health cover provides long-term continuity, the group health insurance has inbuilt limitations in terms of the coverage amount, flexibility and duration. So the policy's coverage for the employee and their dependents ceases if the primary insured leaves their position. Although group coverage appears to be a popular option among the employees, its restrictions prevent it from being a good alternative. So according to the Health Regulations 2016, portability guidelines, any individuals or family member covered under any group health insurance policy has the right to switch from a group plan to individual health insurance or a family floater policy with the same insurance company. Now the basic conditions for shifting to an individual health insurance plan has to be seen, because the norms under group medical insurance are more moderate as the entire group gets insured here. Thus the accumulated waiting period can be carried forward by you for pre-existing illness at the time of switching your insurance cover. However, it is critical to understand that switching insurance coverage from a group policy to an individual policy can only be done with the same insurance provider. You can change your insurance company only after completing at least 1 year of individual cover with the current insurance provider. Moreover, you can switch plans if your whole family is insured by it. So for this, you can either go for individual plans for all the family members, or you can also choose a family floater plan. Now the points to remember while switching from employer-sponsored health cover to individual cover. To consider the following when trying to switch from employer-sponsored health insurance to individual health insurance is that switch as per discretion of the insurer. As per IRDA rules, an individual covered under a group plan may opt for conversion from an employer-provided health insurance policy to an individual health insurance plan with the same insurer by completing the required formalities. Regardless, the insurer will decide whether or not to accept the conversion. The insurer has complete control over the new scheme's terms and conditions as well as the premium amount. So after 1 year, the insured can even use the portability rights with another insurer. And then not later than 45 days, you must notify the insurer of the conversion at least 45 days before the expiry date of the existing group policy. Some companies have not this kind of restriction. Then pre-medical checkup. Before conversion, some insurers may also ask for a pre-medical checkup to check the person's medical condition. This depends upon the age. Then waiting period. The group health insurance generally has no waiting period and the pre-existing diseases are covered from day one. So as per IRDA guidelines, when you switch from a group health insurance to individual health insurance family plan, the waiting period is not wasted and is carried over. However, in case your group health insurance has a waiting period and you have only served a part of it, so the balance will be carried over to the new policy under the same insurer. So procedure for shifting from group health plan to individual health plans is simple. The procedure for switching from group health plans to individual health insurance plan is you have to choose a policy. The first step is to select a health insurance policy that fulfills your requirements when choosing a health plan. An individual must consider the coverage amounts, benefits, exclusion, terms and conditions, and so on. So one must pick the best policy as per their needs, as the features and benefits of health insurance plans differs from each other. Then filling out the form. Once you have made your decision, you will need to fill out a form to switch from group coverage to personal coverage. You must provide information about your current policy, claim history, proof of age, medical history, and declarations if any. Some insurance companies may also require a pre-medical exam. Then submission of documents. The form and all these required documents need to be submitted before the renewal date of the existing policy. And payment of premium. The insurer processes the application after receiving the documents. We are informed about the new policy terms and conditions as well as the premium amount. So the overall process generally takes about 15 days only. If you agree to the terms and conditions, you can pay the premium and get covered with the new policy. There are benefits of shifting to an individual health insurance plan, because the advantages of switching from employer provided health insurance to an individual health plan are like increasing the sum insured. So while switching from a group health insurance plan to an individual health insurance policy, you can increase the policy cover. However, in such cases, the benefits of the waiting period will be applicable only on the existing sum assured and not on the new one. Then credit gained on waiting period. During conversion, the credit gained in the form of the waiting period for pre-existing diseases under the group plan is carried over to an individual plan. However, the benefits are only available if the policy is kept in force without interruption. And then comprehensive coverage. When compared to the group coverage, individual health insurance provides comprehensive coverage. You can also tailor the plan to your specific requirements and preferences. So as a result, group health insurance is more reliable, but it does not provide all of the benefits of an individual policy. So next time you are worried about group health cover ceasing, don't. You can easily convert your group health insurance to an individual policy and enjoy benefits such as comprehensive coverage, waiting period, credit and an increase in the sum insured. All these benefits are available, because the most significant advantage of a group health insurance policy for employees is that the employer pays the policy premium. This means the insurance cover is free of cost for an employee. Somewhere the contribution is also required. So however, when the employee parts ways with the employer, the coverage stops, as the employee is no longer a part of the insured group of employees. If you are such an employee and wonder how to switch from group health insurance to individual health insurance, understand the important things like in the 2020s and like the period before the 90s, it is not the norm of employees to stick around with one company for decades. But if you leave your employer and are not employed elsewhere, you will not benefit from employee health insurance. Note that employer offered insurance goes by several names such as group health policy, employer health insurance, corporate health insurance, group medical cover, employer-employee insurance, employee health scheme, group insurance for employees. You can switch from the insurance for employees policy to individuals anytime. Thank you very much.